welcome to another Secret Influence TV interview. Secret Influence TV is a channel where I interview people who inspire or influence others. I believe that we all have a message to share. We all have expertise to share or story to tell. And it is only by sharing our expertise, getting our message out there and sharing our story that we can then inspire others to achieve their greatness. And influencing, good communication influencing are key skills to life. If you want to be successful, you have to be able to communicate your message clearly and influence others. And this is whether it's in your career, whether it's in business, to get more customers or sales, or even relationships with other people, friends, colleagues, partner, or your children. You want to be a positive influence on them. You want to be able to help shape their behavior so they can contribute, behave properly, and also have a good relationship with them, to inspire them. So if you enjoy this, do subscribe. I will share regular tips on how to influence, and also I interview people every week who are influencers or inspirers. So today I'm got the pleasure of interviewing Teuta Avdyli. So welcome, Teuta.
Hi, thank you, Nick. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you very much for inviting me in your Secret Influencers TV. It's my pleasure to be here today.
So Teuta is an author, and I'm going to ask about her upcoming book later on. She's a transformation, motivation, and a parenting coach. So I want to start by asking you, Teuta, what does success mean for you?
Oh, thank you very much for this question, Nick. Oh, what is success for me? Success for me is to do what you love. Being teachable, that you are a good listener, open your heart, your mind, and share with others. Growing in wisdom, which is the most powerful and in fact, the secret key to having a successful life. Success is not to let your light shine out there for others. It's about learning, relearn, and unlearn. It's about today, what have you learned from, in a better place from yesterday, and to unlearn what didn't work, and to learn to grow. And yes, and to go extra mile for others.
Great, no, thanks for sharing that. I agree that everything in life is about relationships, and we're people, and business about people, and we can't shut ourselves away. Life is all about relationships, and the better relationships we have, the better we can progress in life. And I think that one of the keys to success is be able to obviously achieve your goals in life, but it's be able to, have a positive influence on others. If you can get through your life and feel you made a bit of a difference, you contributed, you made a positive influence on others, I think that's certainly something that I personally think is a measurement of success. So I'm a professional copywriter and passionate about the importance of communicating clearly and the difference that can make to relationships. How do you define communication?
Well, communication is the master key for everyone. And I think not only for adults, it's for children, it's everywhere workplace that you are. How you carry yourself, how you project yourself, and how you conduct yourself, that's communication. If you want that your thoughts to carry weight, you have to weigh your words. Because we live in this we live in this COVID-19 culture, and we have two choices: curse the darkness or turn the light. And I encourage you to turn the light with the power of your words. We are plus in people's life, or you can be minus in people's life. You can add value, or you can take value from people's life. And it's very important, to interpret the words and to understand what the other people are saying to you mentally. And the communication is the powerful weapon that words can carry itself. Interacting with people gives you wisdom communication, the power of the word. I mean, Warren Buffett says, everyone communicates if you connect. In fact, for me, it's like, I first want to connect with people and then to create the relationship. Because the relationship, connection, it doesn't happen overnight. Connection comes with building trust, talking to the other person. And I believe that being a good listener is I'd say it's better to speak less than and listen. Because when you listen, you really saying to the other person, you matter. I love you and I'm listening to you. And you make that person the most important person that exists. Because when you listen to someone, you're telling them that, you know, trust, I can trust, you trust me. It's like hitting the pause button and just listen. And it's not even about giving them advice, not even about mentoring them, but just listen to the core of their being and listen not only with your ears and eyes, but with your heart. That's when you build that connection, and that connection goes to the deeper relationship. That's when you can see through the brokenness, you see the beauty, because everyone has something to say. Everyone is a masterpiece. Everyone has a beautiful thing to say. So I say, yes, communication is the key. I mean, is the listen. And another thing that I want to add to communication is perception as well. It's like perception is everything. It can change you everything. Perception is like listening from what the other people have to say instead of judging, going before what they have to say something, because you never know. When you say something, the other person, he might prove you wrong. So when you have listened, when you have learned to change the perception, it gives you time as well to understand the other person. So perception, yes, is listening always. I mean, leaders listen, they learn, and they lead. The important to listen are more than you speak. In fact, you define yourself in your own way. Others define you in their own way. It's up to you to choose which definition you prefer.
Do you think that there's a big difference between how we should communicate to children and to adults, or do you think effectively it's the same principles that we should be
I believe so. It's the same principle.
Yeah. Okay, that's I mean, I agree with everything you say there. So I mean, you're obviously you're a motivation coach and you're a parent. What's one thing that you're most proud of? Can you tell me something you're really proud of that you've done?
Oh, okay. I mean, a part of the achievements, I would like to say there are many things that I'm proud of myself. However, I would like to summarize this question in two short words. Okay. Like, I have a strong sense of self-worth and I respect myself. The reason that I say that is because people who have self-worth and respect the self tend to have a great passion for their life. They feel confident and they are grateful and have the ability to forgive others and are excellent at motivating others. That's what I love mostly in myself and I'm proud of. Okay. And proud of the book, I mean, without saying, extending about the achievement, but mostly because you have to have a good characters in order, like whatever your message is, it has to be from inside of you. You have to have passion, you have to love, so people can feel it from the core of their being. And they say that, oh yes, I can feel you. You are true and you are authentic. Your message is, and that's what I love myself, like having self-worth and doing everything with love.
Okay. So we talked earlier about about contributing and making a difference, and one of the ways you can do that is by influencing others positively. And I know some of the things you've talked about is how you can, in some of your speeches, you talk about sort of having a legacy and how, making a difference. And what do you mean by that? What is your definition of legacy or greatness? How would you define that?
Yes, I mean, actually, I'm glad that the both books that are kind of complement each other with the title "Born to Stand Out" and not to fit in, because we are born to stand out. Each of one of us is born to stand out and to make a difference and contribution in the world for the betterment of the society. And what I mean about of legacy of love is leaving something behind, even when you are not around, even when you are gone. When you are, living with the intention to lead people, better to how you find them, and to be a game changer for someone, to hold, and you hold on that. It's like it is your oxygen.
Okay, my next question is around sort of, I know that you're a parent yourself and you're a parenting coach, and you're quite passionate about sharing your sort of approach to being a good parent, having a good relationship with children. What and it is, it's tough being a parent. I think especially in the moment with the COVID, where we're having to homeschool our children and work from home and school our children from home and juggle these pressures. Do you have any advice or tips for mothers out there, who want to be good parents, but they're also juggling work, and it's, there's a lot of pressure at the moment. Anything?
Yes, I agree with that. Yes, that is. We have ended up with doing more than we used to do before, Nick, So now we have in schools, classroom in our house, or we have in office in our house. So it's not easy. We have to kind of balance everything. But what I can say is offer support however you can for your children, help them accomplish, the goals, and to be the best version of themselves. We are to learn, we are bringing up future adults, and we really have to, we have to ask ourselves that, do you know what a great responsibility that is? So what I say, laugh more, spend more time together, build trust, communicate with each other. And we say, trust doesn't happen like once in a time. It has to be consistency, to be like every day you have to take time with your children, go out, make the most of it, because I feel sorry for these children. They were born in this world that is is their own, not their own fault, and they have to enjoy the day. They have to be, to shed some of the energy, and they are ending up cooped up inside of homes. And yes, we have to do that, not only to take care of their mental health, but I say to parents as well, you have to take care of your own self, your own health as well, because if you are not healthy, how can you take care of your children? We spell over what you are. So I always say, look after yourself. Once that you are good, you are healthy, then you are going to take care of children. So say, and sometimes we too much in our hands. And when you make any mistakes, please don't abide over it, but just let it go and learn from that mistakes and say sorry, to unpleasant situation. We always bring peace and unity when in our homes, when we come to that space of love and harmony, unity, and say sorry if something happens. And a sorry can heal a wound. It can mend many things. Yes, and yes, just be around them and really kind of support them. And hello, Nick, have I lost you? And I say as well, big hello.
Do you think it's important to be like a role model, for your children, okay, for in life for the children? It's an important aspect, you try to do.
Yes, I always, my teaching is I will facilitate my teaching in teaching, empowering, and be an example, because children will see you, children will follow you, and subconsciously they will learn from you, no, like it or not. And sometimes we blame them, I mean, for things, but seeing them, blaming them for something that when they see you doing, they see holes in your words, you know, and they will not follow you. So that is not a good thing as well. So doing something yourself and telling children something is not. So what you have to say, you have to live it. You have to be example of your children wherever you go. So they will be proud of you. I mean, we are not perfect. Will never be perfect. And no matter what, every time we go to bed, we always will examine every parenting decision that we made that day. But you know what? You just let it go and start a new day and learn from those mistakes. Because, you know, as I say, we are parenting is a job that no job ever exists. And we never are trained about that. We just learn through experience. And in fact, we get advice from parents, we get advice from friends, and even someone doesn't have a child can give advice. So that's how we get, is a collective experience. But I say that we have, I mean, whatever it doesn't work for your child, then, you know, it's always time you can change what is best for your child, and what doesn't work, you can eliminate it and start over. That's how it is. Our children learn, we evolve with them. We are in the process of growing as well as a parent, because we learn from our children. But but the key thing is listening, validate their feelings. Validate their feelings, not via self-suppressions, but self-regulation. Let them learn from their mistakes as well, from their behavior, and not by pushing and controlling or owning them.
I know, I agree with you. I think it's like the great leaders lead by example, so they inspire people by doing the action themselves, you know, showing, you know, by doing. And I think it's the same. Parents are the leaders to their children, but, you know, they want to lead by example and show, you know, children that they're doing what they're talking about. You know, but yeah, I think there's a lot of that. You know, 100 years ago, we used to tell children, you know, this is what you do. You know, we know, you don't. You know, we're in charge. You know, but I think, you know, actually, time to move forward, and we need to, you know, respect that, you know, children.
And to lead.
You know, they're learning, but they're actually, you know, they can understand, you know, more than we give credit for. We need to relate to them on that sort of equal level.
Nick, you have grown-up children or not?
I've got a 5-year-old. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
you're still young. You're still young.
Still young.
Yeah.
Is young.
And what I would like to add to that, Nick, is, I mean, parenting is like a detective. We have to understand what the child wants, so we can validate, you know, and we can make plans, and we can work of that. So it's just leading. I mean, sometimes as well, because I am very passionate about parenting, so that's why. And sometimes parents are scared to say to the children, no, you are their parent. It's okay to say no if something is not working. It's okay to switch off that phone. It's okay to plug out of the on devices. It's okay. Let's have some quality time. When you stay on the table, just take that phone out, because you already telling, when you have your phone on the table, you are telling that you already giving the impression that the phone is more important. So the phone.
I think that's perhaps one of the.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things perhaps some parents find challenging, is that balance between, you know, parents want to be fun and want to enjoy the time with their children, but they also want to be, you know, strict when they need to be, and want to be firm. It's that balance between the two.
Yeah, we have to respect ourselves as a parent. We have to say that, you know, because sometimes we parents like, because I mean, it doesn't have to, I mean, we cannot compare about love because every parents love their children.
No, of
but we're
course.
talking about having authority as a parent, because once that you do something, you say something and do something different, you lose the authority as a parent.
It's true.
You know, you lose
Consistency.
authority as a parent, and the
It's one
child
aspect.
will not take you seriously. When the
Yeah.
comes, we're talking about when something, when I mean, when something is serious, you know, we're talking not like easy every day, but when something is serious, they will not take you for seriously. So that's why we have to parent our children, to lead them, to guide them, to teach them in the right direction. And at the end of the day, Nick, I say, there is no guarantee about parenting. And we sometimes, even the good parents, the children depart from the right path. They teach them about the values and beliefs they teach, but they will never forget what you see, what you planted in their heart. One day we'll be lucky enough, they will remember, but we have to do our part. We cannot take our, it is very important. We have to, I always again believe that we have to be examples of our children. We have to lead by example. And I don't want, I mean, yes, I know that parenting is very hard. I know that. And I don't want to blame parents as well, that for example, the children are not in the right path. And I don't want sometimes to judge them, to go before, but instead let us, instead of them putting under the water, let's raise them, let's support them, and let them give what we know. That's what it is, sharing what you know and make their life better. And we learn from our experiences. I've learned from other parents' experiences, the collective experiences. And I say, let mother together and father together, so we can help those powerful, amazing generation, future leaders. So to come, because I say that if you want to change the world, don't go too far. You have to start from your own home, and then you extend on your society, on your community, your neighborhood community, and then you spread your wings further. You cannot change the world if you don't change it from your own home. And then when all the peaceful families come together, then we can create a peaceful world that is getting darker and darker, unfortunately, day by day. Hello? Hello? Nick? Hello, Nick, have I lost you? Hello, Nick. Okay, I think we lost Nick. Hopefully he's coming back. Hello, Nick. Oh.
That's quite not.
Hello, Nick. I think we lost you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, just lost me for a second, but I'm back.
Okay.
So these things happen.
Technology.
So just to, yeah, sorry about that, lost connection. But so just to get back on track for questions. So we know that parenthood and motherhood can be challenging. What's been one of the most challenging periods of your motherhood, do you think? Is there a particular time where you thought,
Okay, I mean,
you challenging?
yes. Yes, I don't know if we recorded, I mean, the last bit that I was speaking, because I thought you were there anyway, but okay, yes. Going back to your question, what was the most challenging period of motherhood for me? The most challenging, I would say, period of motherhood for me was when I gave birth to my first child, and I was young, quite immature, and lived way far from my family and friends, and that was like kind of hit me totally unprepared for the restriction to my freedom and the totally dependence on for my daughter had on me. So having had this experience, I made sure that I was better prepared for my second one, for my son, and which everything went more smooth, and I was prepared. It's about experience, isn't it? But yeah, that's what, and in the book Family Legacy of Love, I have actually wrote a proper chapter for that, because mothers are not prepared, Nick, we it's a completely change. I mean, our life changes from from independent freedom to completely dependent to a small young child. So you have to be prepared, not only physically, emotionally, you have the psychologically, you have to be prepared, because it's everything changes. I mean, sleepless night, breastfeeding, time demanding, it's everything. So you have to be, and I said to mothers to be, be prepared before you give birth. Prepare, read books, get knowledgeable about the child development. Nick, I mean, this is so funny, but in the beginning, when we had our daughter, I had to go to hospital every week. Do you know what they would say? Every time they would see me, they say, "Oh, she again." Because she had tummy ache, and I didn't know. They said, "It's all right, it's okay, it's normal," but I didn't know those, and it made me so anxious, so upset, so depressed as well, because I didn't know, I didn't have any clue. So yeah, those are very important. Some good steps that you have to do: read books, watch videos, prepared about the child development. Not only you, but with your partner as well. Talk. He has to be knowledgeable as well, because it's a partnership, isn't it?
It is a partnership. Yeah, it's true. It is true. I mean, like anything in life, it's a learning experience, and we need to continually learn, be better at what we do, including parenting. So just to
every time.
ask you about
yes.
Sorry, I was just going to ask you a bit about social media, because obviously social media is a huge thing, and we all use it, and for business it's a very useful tool. But what's your approach to social media for children? Do you let them use it? Do you monitor it?
Social media, I mean, I would say something, Nick. I mean, I feel sorry about teenagers nowadays, because they have endless option and choices, and social media has been a great thing for them to connect with their friends, and globally, actually, to maintain their social connection. But there is a lot of pressure as well, the feeling of needing to fit in. I mean, to be popular, to be liked, or to look in certain ways, and this is the norm, and there is pressure about in them, and this many turns to a destructive behavior, and many cases, I mean, not desirable cases like suicidal and depression, which is very, very bad. And we have to protect those little minds. And it is not easy as well. It's not easy for parents. I mean, to manage screen time is always ongoing issue. I mean, they want to do things in their own way, in their own time, and that's. But also is our children, and I say this, I mean, our danger before we're scared to leave our children outside, but our danger is not outside anymore, it's inside, in our own comfort house. So we have to be vigilant as well. I mean, I say to my daughter that don't follow anyone that makes you feel insecure and or bad, you know, about yourself. Hide posts that make you feel that you are missing out. And don't worry about likes and comments about what others are getting. You know, it's not easy, but I have to follow my girl on the social media, on her account, and I call her if something is not right, okay? And I don't, if I think that's something I don't like it, either they or to their friends, or she to her friends. So it all looks, I mean, works back actually to the values and values that you set as a parent. Values is, I mean, creating values is the best. I mean, sorry, I have to disconnect this. So,
Yes, no, just to say why you're doing that, but I no problem. I agree. I mean, social media is obviously growing its head today, but you know, we do have children. You know, children are, we're all vulnerable to these influences. But I think, you know, we do need to keep an eye on social media, what our children access. It's our, you know, it's our responsibility as parents to make sure they're not being affected or influenced by you know, by.
It's a big challenge.
It's a big one. It's a big challenge.
And you have to find ways. I mean, one thing, sorry, Nick, and I want one thing that I want to add to that is like, I mean, talking about it, it's not enough. I mean, we're talking about, and many are talking, and I am not the first, and surely I'm not going to be the last. But we have to find ways how to tackle this problem. It's a problem that is affecting all of us in each of everyone's homes. So it is a big.
I think also, yes, it's, you know, it's easy to pass responsibility, but I think it's everyone. So yes, it's the social media companies' responsibility, but it's also the parents, but it's also the teachers. I think, you know, to make sure that we live in a safe world, whether that's in the real world or social media, we all need to play a part in making sure that it's, you know, it's
yes, and I say that I've written. I mean, just I have mentioned on my book. I mean, when it comes out as well, I'm very proud. I mean, and I encourage everyone actually to get your hands on that book, because that book, Family Legacy of Love, is itself a training. Itself a training itself is all shared in there, all the experiences, all the tests that, I mean, they are home tested tips and wisdom and everything there. But also I want to share that we have boundaries, we have limit, age restriction for alcohol, we have for gambling, and we have for smoking, but we don't have age restriction to social media, to the technology. And that is, you know, through their fault of they are not on our children. It's us. We have to change, and we have to make a difference for this amazing generation that is going to become our leaders, future leaders.
I agree. Technology, you know, is developing so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. And I think we do need to, we do need to sort of be, you know, as technology develops, we need to sort of develop with it, you know, and like I say, part of that is, you know, providing guidelines and restrictions, and, you know, it's a responsibility. So your book, you know, so one of your first book, Born to Stand Out, Not to Fit In. You're working the next book, which is a sort of parenting guide based on your experiences. And yeah, I think you're hoping it's going to come out sort of later this year, I think, is it?
No, it's coming out February. It's on editing stage. Yes, it's already, I have already given out from my hands. You know, even the book is like a baby, you know, it has, I mean, it's, and it comes to a time you say, Teuta, you have to give birth to this book. Stop it right now. It's good as it is. So I have to let it go. Of course, it's been hours and hours of learning, of researching, of all my what God has has blessed me with the gifts and talents, and is out there to share it with the world and to help parents. I mean, it's tips for parents. There are wisdom, strategy for parents, but there are chapters that I talk for children, how to help children as well, and children how to communicate with parents. But even though I don't have a teenager yet, which yes, soon, my daughter is 12 years old, but you know, we have to be prepared, one, and to get knowledgeable, two, yes, but the principles, I think, as the same: communicate, respect, and follow by example, and respect the children as they are their own individuals. Yes, in teenager is a little bit different because they are in the teenage, they are not adults, they are not they are not children, so they are in betweens, and then sometimes we get lost how to treat them, you know. So but still that's what, just, and give them unconditional love. That is nothing can, I love cannot, nothing can unbeat love, nothing.
No, I agree with that, and that's my approach for my son. So who's the book aimed at? Is it aimed at all parents, or is it mothers particularly, or, you know, is it anyone who's
okay?
What's maybe people?
Yes, I mean, this book has come, I am glad that I've called this book Family Legacy of Love, because it's not just in the children. We think more about, you have a small child and soon it's going to be adult and it's going to grow in the world. And you ask yourself, what kind of adult am I raising for the future? You know, so it's not specific. It's about babies, it's about toddlers, teenagers, and in between. So all it covers everything. It's a foolproof strategy for parents, how to raise confident, resilient, autonomous children. And I'm very passionate. I'm advocate of raising confident and autonomous and confident children and resilient, because by giving them, by clear structure, common sense, high parental expectation, and tradition notional, which unfortunately is underpinned in our days. And that's why I say that I am to the, what I say is, I promote actually about free, which stands for faith, respect, empower, and example.
Okay, I like that. Faith, I like that. Yeah, no, I like that. That's a good. That's a good phrase, I think. And you know, phrase like that it makes things easier to remember and absorb information. I'm going to share the details of Teuta's book underneath this video.
And I want to add something as well on that as well. Nick, is I have created a system which is called Successful Parenting System. Right. Yes. But inside of that system, I've created a subsystem which is called the chapter 12, Seed of Love.
And this is what you talk about in your book.
Yes, Seed of Love. And this is a chapter actually, which I've created another system which is called Animal Parenting System.
Yeah,
I know there are many experts, many academic profilation experts have written about parenting. However, I'm so proud, I'm so excited to say that I've created a system that is very funny, very easy for parents to follow. I know that there are 5 types of parenting that I've created, and you know, you might find yourself in one type of parenting, or we might find in blend of type of parenting, because, you know, I might be, for example, kind of a mix of parents. And sometimes we are strict on something, sometimes we are permissive on something. So there is a blending of that. But what is the most amazing thing is that you will identify yourself which category you fail, and if that is not working for you, then you can change. It's never too late to change and to do the right thing. Never too late. It's for the sake of your children and what is work best for your family. I'm not gonna reveal what's the type of parenting, but that's how for now.
Yep, no, definitely.
But they are on the book.
We can always.
You have to put your hands on that book.
And I think confident children become confident adults, happy children, become happy adults. I think, these skills, if we can learn them when we're young, they'll stand us in for life. And I'm definitely going to get this book. I love books, I collect books, but also as a parent, I think it's something I can learn from. So, Teuta, I could speak to you all day, but we're coming towards the end of the interview. I've got a few questions to finish up with.
Yeah.
A few quick questions. So, one, what inspires you in life? How do you stay motivated? Or what inspires you?
I love this question because it's very close to my heart. In fact, everything inspires me, Nick. I am a very positive person.
Okay. Sure.
When you have lemon, let's say energetic person and always want to be the shine. If you are not the light, what's there to say? So I found inspiration in variety of things and people. The answer lies within. You have to search for this biggest inspiration within yourself. Sure, you can read books, you can have mentors, you can spend thousands of pounds, but the reality is, in the end, alone in your room, you have to find the inspiration, that motivation to turn up, to deliver, and to execute your message. It's the love and the happiness that makes me inspire. Whether it's a job, a hobby, or even cleaning the house. Even when I clean the house, I like to be always chill because I want to enjoy. Is that high energy? Keep high the energy, high standards about yourself. Life experiences, watching and working with others is inspire me. How they decide, how they solve problems, that inspires me. Being with people inspires me, Nick. I love people. I cannot imagine myself without people. It's in my DNA. And finding better ways of doing things inspires me. And and having money to create the beautiful thing, that inspires me. Not to serve money. Money has to serve.
I mean, I think
another thing, what inspires me is my children. They inspire me every day because they make me a better parent.
Sure.
And it's how to approach. It's about creativity, imagination. That is the greatest thing that God has given us: the imagination, being creative. And yes, on a personal note, that is what inspires me as well. Happy people, happy spirit help me, inspire me too.
I think one thing comes across is you're clearly very passionate about what you do and what you say, you believe in it. And I've interviewed about 30 people, and the people who are passionate about what they do, it shows, and you can't help but get swept up in that passion, and you remember what they say more because their passion shows through. And that's clearly with you, parenting, and helping people in this way is something you're passionate about. So two more questions, Teuta. What would you say to yourself a few years back, if you could give some, look back to yourself a few years ago, was any sort of advice or any sort of
that is a great question, Nick. Let me gather my thoughts about that. Yes, repeat it again, please. It's how do I say to Teuta in the back?
Because obviously, all the time you're developing as a person, you're writing these books, you're doing public speaking, your children are growing up. What, is any advice you give advice to other parents? Is there any advice you give to yourself? Is there anything you'd say to
what I would say to old Teuta, I would say I will intervene since my teenage years, actually. I would say, oh my gosh, Teuta, put on your helmet, fasten your belt, because girl, is gonna be a scary and a bumpy ride. Just go for it.
Great answer. I love it. And my last question, which is one you sent me yourself to me to ask, is if you could be the Prime Minister of the UK, you could be in charge, what would you change? What would you do? If you were given...
nice. If I am a president of UK for one day, just one day. Okay.
Maybe longer.
First I would start because when the reason I'm going to start with this answer is because when you are passionate for something, you have to think things what inspire you. I love London. I love the people. I love the history. I love the culture. I love the diversity of this country. And it's the greatest country in the world. Very proudly, you can say that. And going to your question, what I'm going to do if I am one day, a new complete direction that delivers a strong education reforming system. That is gonna be.
Great, but powerful words to finish on, and I think that sums it all up. Teuta, there's been so much tips and value there that I think I'm gonna have to watch this again, because as a parent, I know I can always improve. I can be a better parent, and I need, I'm always trying to learn how to do that by listening to other people, by yourself, and yeah, thank you for your time. And
yes, I want to close it with just one quote, Nick, before
sure.
I leave. Yes, please. This is from Harriet Tubman. I love quotes, actually. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the passion, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. Because you are born to stand out. You are actually, today I was reading, because I'm very, very, I am very spiritual as well, and I pray every day. And today was a verse that I want to share, which really, really excited me about, because it's about unpacked a very beautiful scripture that it says in the David, in Psalms 139:13, where it says that, for you created my inmost thing. You needed me together in my mother's womb. What a beautiful verse that is. Of course, this is talking about God, that the creator, above all the creator, from the earth to the sun and to the stars, you that created me. He created us in the mess that we call life, in the darkness and the light. And here is the truth, my friend. Hard times come, dark times come, but what we get hold on, it's to this beautiful idea that this David unpacks in the next verse when it says, I praise you, and because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. What a beautiful verse, because it says we are made for a purpose, on purpose. Even in our greatest hardship, in our greatest hurts, hope is available to all of us, because from our creator of everything, never lose hope. Always, I want to encourage you, never lose hope. Always look for the better things. The things that you cannot change, pray. The things that you can, just concentrate on the things that you can change, and the things that you can't, pray. And just being alive is already an amazing thing, because we are living in a very, very dark times in those moments. But businesses lost, money, children are home, parents, doctors and nurses overwhelmed, but we have to do our part. We are in this togetherness. Yeah. We are this moment. We are all together, and we can go to the other side together and united.
I think I thank you for that, because I agree. We all need motivation, and we also have a bit of responsibility, I think, to keep our people we know motivated, and mindset everything. And if we don't have if we can't stay positive and we can't stay motivated, then we won't achieve anything. And it is hard, especially in the last year of COVID. So to finish on some motivating words of that, I think that is that is, that says it all. We need, especially a COVID meeting, we need to keep, focus and positivity and be motivating ourselves. So I love it. I'm always looking ways to stay motivated.
And
So thank you.
Compassion and have empathy for each other as well.
Yes, no, that's so true. So I mean, that's why I call this chat. That's why I interview people who influence and inspire, because I think we need to be positive.
Because some being positive. Yeah. Because some people can see this problem. I mean, can find this COVID as a problem, but some people turn it into opportunity, maybe on purpose. That's true. So you have to get the most out of it. Not complaining and mourning. You cannot go nowhere with complaining and mourning, but just you have to face the fears, because the fear is the greatest virus. And it can cause you psychologically, when it comes you psychologically, mentally, and it takes over completely of your health. So I just want to encourage everyone,
No, definitely.
Let's work together.
Yeah, we can't get stressed about things we can't change. So we need to accept, we can't change, and change what we can change. No, great words. Teuta, I could talk to you all day. And just to say thank you again for our time. And yes, I will share your details below. And yeah, if anyone wants to Teuta is a public speaker, and she does 10 events. If anyone wants someone who's passionate about this subject and wants to talk about the parenting, get in touch with Teuta. She's a great speaker and a great writer, and I recommend her. Someone who can.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here today and to share, my thoughts, and to share my passion, which is very close to my heart, and I want the people to feel that as well, because it's my oxygen. It is my oxygen. And yes, if you want to get in touch with me, I have my Facebook. You can go to my Facebook, www.teutaavdyli.com, and you can go to another Facebook when you can find my books. You can buy my books there, and you can book your, if you want an appointment with you. I can educate, I can teach, I can inspire you, I can empower you, I can support you and I can hold you accountable. I'll never let you until I see you to the light, so the light can shine on your life.
Great. Okay, well, on those powerful words, let's stay inspired and let's be better influenced and inspired.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day, everyone. God bless you. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for having me.